Hi everyone, this is Christine with Black Tea News, and today we are going to be talking about canceling of Pepe Le Pew. Oh, this world's so stupid right now. And maybe some other things, but really quickly, please go over to blacktnews.com, check out the website, check out other material I have, articles I've written, other videos, and you can see where I am on all the platforms. Make sure that you check out the store. Maybe you will find something that you really, really like, or for somebody else. And make sure that you go ahead and leave a donation if you could be so kind and so generous to do such a thing. And you can either do that there on the site, or you can do that with the link right there. I appreciate everything that you guys do, sharing, liking, hitting that notification bell, wherever you're watching this. I appreciate you guys taking the time to be part of the conversation. So yes, Pepe Le Pew has been canceled. He was supposed to be in the Space Jam 2 movie. I'm not too fond of LeBron. I don't know if I will see that. Besides, I'm not a child, so maybe I have nostalgia for the original, I suppose, but and I guess other people like LeBron and still like Looney Tunes and would watch something like that. But I don't know. I think I'm pretty much planning on sitting out. But they took out Pepe Le Pew in it because writer Charles Blow wrote about some other things in like cartoons and other stuff that people used to watch that were problematic in the past. And he mentioned that Pepe Le Pew kind of inspired rape culture, and not like the whole thing, but attributed to it, I guess. And so conservatives, of course, were like, what? He wrote it in a major paper, so of course it's going to get out, and then people are going to respond to it, and it becomes a thing. And so eventually they're like, let's shut this down. First of all, I would say you're not an original thinker because Dave Chappelle some years ago made a joke, which I remember when he said it around that time, and I thought it was pretty funny at the time, about Pepe Le Pew.
You ever watch like a cartoon that you used to watch when you were little as an adult? We sitting there, we watching Pepe Le Pew, and I say to my neighbor, I say, now pay attention to this guy because he's funny. I used to watch him when I was little. And we watched Pepe Le Pew, and I'm old now. I'm looking like, good God, what kind of fucking rapist is this guy? Like, take it easy, Pepe.
But I would say overall, I was never a huge Looney Tunes fan, just disclaimer. It was never my thing. I like Tiny Toons. I love Tiny Toons, but Looney Tunes, not my thing. Pepe Le Pew is a creep, right? And the funny thing about him is that he's a skunk, and people are trying to get away from him because he's a skunk. And to associate this sort of creepy behavior with smelling bad, and is the joke, is the thing that you're supposed to take away, and not let, it's okay to go after girls and to chase after them even when they're like trying to crawl to kind of get away. Now, it would suck to be her, but the joke is he stinks, you want to get away from him. But obviously it's combined with this behavior of this guy is a creep. You want to get away from him. So, and nobody is like, oh yeah, he's a great dude. I mean, I guess they thought he was cool enough to play on the Toon Squad, but just like overall, like who goes like, yeah, that's great behavior. Like no one validates that stuff, like in general. So, but there are tons of cartoons and stuff that do problematic things. There are things that we complain about nowadays that are problematic. So it's funny that we're trading these things that people survived off of with this other sort of indoctrination. I mean, on Blue's Clues, they're promoting all these sort of gender, flags and other stuff like that. Cartoon Network, they're teaching you to embrace different identities and other stuff like that.
Yeah, it makes a difference that I'm white. I know the two of us get treated very differently.
Right. My experience with anti-black racism is really specific.
Which to be fair though, I don't think a lot of like the ratings and stuff, a lot of kids aren't watching Cartoon Network. I don't think, like some are, but there's a large demographic of people who are like in their mid-20s and stuff watching like Cartoon Network. Personally, I've just about dropped most TV. It's really interesting to me what people are so up in arms about today. Like people are so, the founding fathers, all these people are just so evil because of slavery, and slavery is evil, but it's like, yeah, let's go march to kill babies. Like what? Like those people who of the past who did those things would probably want to burn you. We just have weird senses of morality about stuff today. And it's crazy to me that like this is a thing, like look at all this stuff that we should be offended about, but it's like, okay, didn't the Democrats have Bill Clinton at their DNC convention right after he got caught in photos associated with someone who was allegedly Jeffrey Epstein's slave? What are you even like really upset about? Like, are you upset because someone told you to be upset? Are you upset because you're like, does Pepe Le Pew upset you more than that? Does Pepe Le Pew upset you more than Tara Reid's story not fully being validated? I mean, there were some breadcrumbs, at least not to like 100% prove her story, but there's enough breadcrumbs to prove that she told a story. There was a lot more evidence corroboration for her story than there was for like Christine Ford's story, for example. And when they could have had like gotten like the golden goose, I guess, of evidence and said like, hey, she allegedly wrote a report. It should be in this library or whatever that Biden has. Can we go look at it? And they're like, no, it was supposed to be released, but now I'm running for president. So no, you can't look at it. And they're like, well, why not? Why can't you just release the records? And he said, for real, he said this, there's a lot of stuff in there that could be used as cannon fodder for a campaign. So why would I do that? I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what it was. And they just let this slide. How could everyone in the world let this slide when he just said, hey, I can't let you look at this stuff. There's a ton of stuff in there that could be used against me that you guys probably wouldn't like on the campaign trail. Why would I do that? And from a smart point of view, like, yeah, why would you do that? But it's like, but why would you admit that's the reason? And why are journalists letting you get away with that? Why come no one else is talking about this but me? So that's how he got away with his accusations. And they'll just say, well, women should be heard. Okay, that's just a thing you say now. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. So he also mentioned the stereotypes of like Speedy Gonzalez. And so Gabriel Iglesias was like, y'all ain't canceling him. I'm the voice of him in the movie. He's a comedian. He refers to himself as Fluffy, and he's like, y'all ain't canceling me. So he let that be known, like, don't come for me. Don't come for my character. I'm voicing him. Y'all ain't about to just take him out the movie. He hasn't been edited out, but Pepe Le Pew is, who, if anyone should be offended, should be the French. But, and he's like a caricature of just kind of like a hypersexualized Frenchman, in which, like, if you've seen the movie The Mask, that is a thing that people caricaturize.
Kiss me, my dear, and I will reveal my croissant. I will spread your pâté. I will dip my ladle in your vichyssoise. Oh!
She is so coy.
I love it.
I thought it was actually kind of clever for Looney Tunes to, if they're going to have that kind of caricature, to pair it with a skunk, because obviously this is a creep you want to get away from. And he's someone who's desperately looking for love but can't find love, who's just so thirsty, but he stinks. So it's funny. It's funny, and I'm sorry that it's funny. So anyway, that's where our culture is right now. Canceling Pepe Le Pew. I'm sure they'll look for more things that you love to destroy. They got rid of Uncle Ben, Aunt Jemima. They tried to get rid of Cracker Barrel because they alleged that there was a whip in there in the logo, when it's just probably a rocking chair. And for anyone who says Cracker Barrel makes a joke like, oh, are we going to get rid of Cracker Barrel? First, just FYI, which I didn't know this until I was researching for my historical fiction book, but Cracker Barrel is kind of like the water cooler. When people go to the general store, they go and they chit chat at the Cracker Barrels. So that's why when you go to Cracker Barrel, the front of the place looks like a general store, like an old fashioned store. So that's why it's called Cracker Barrel. Obviously, it has nothing to do with white people, and no, it is not a whip in the logo. Mr. Potato Head is the company, I guess, is not Mr. Potato Head, but they still have Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Perhaps that was a marketing ploy. Who knows? This is all just like really crazy stuff going on with the cancellations. Of course, Dr. Seuss, 6 of his books got the boot. I did hear someone say, it was Mike Cernovich who made the point, like, it's not cancellation if the people who own the property decides to pull it. And so you may be upset. But it was still their call. They buckled. That's what they decided to do. But eBay doing stuff like saying like, no, you can't resell your book that's like almost worth $1,000. That sucks. That sucks hard. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty of things that are on the road to cancellation. And the fact of the matter is, don't let them cancel you. When they come for you, you just stand your ground and you keep on keeping on, guys. And that's what I'm going to try to do here. But anyway, please go to blacktnews.com. Check out the content that I have there, articles and other content that I have. Follow me on other social media platforms. And please check out my store. Find something for yourself, get something for someone you care about. And also, please, if you could so kindly leave a donation on the site, or you can do it right there. God bless you guys. Thank you for being part of the conversation, and I'll see you next time.